Welcome back here, Totem Pole Nation. We are live on a Monday. Coach Taylor, how are you doing, my main man? It feels like I haven't talked to you in like 10, 15 days, maybe a month.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going on a vacation here in a few days. I'm going down to South America and
Wow.
just resting up for that and trying to get on your level. But the madness, Jim Tim, the angry Redskin fan, Hutch, Coach OG, the Moji, the Moji OG from Camden, New Jersey, all came on and held it down while you went on your little vacation.
Yeah,
What?
man. It seemed like they did a really good job. I got to tune in and everything. And yeah, man, that was some good quality stuff. I laughed, I almost cried, and yeah, man, just heartwarming stuff, man. Good stuff, Coach.
So, how do you feel about the madness? The madness said he was going to go up to Boston and
Right,
he was
right.
going to go see Barstool. Did anything ever happen with that?
You know what? Maybe that's why we haven't heard back from him. You know what I mean? Maybe it didn't work out as planned. He could be in jail right now. So who knows? The guy is he's capable of doing anything at any time, and that's kind of pretty much why he is the madness. I don't even know if he flew up there or drove up there or hitchhiked up there, but and who knows if he ever comes back. So we'll to be continued. He may end up on a milk carton. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, this weekend, what were the big plans for the bald Coach K? What did you get into sports wise, pop culture wise? What did you watch?
Well, first and foremost, being down here, we were all just dialed in to what the Rays were doing because it was a magical couple of weeks right there. They went 12 in a row, I believe, maybe even 13, and they were just on the cusp of breaking the record. And yeah, Toronto knocked them out. So that's pretty much all we've been kind of dialed into. We got our other, we got our third eye vision over there on the Tampa Bay Lightning because looks like they're going to get Toronto in the first round of the playoffs. So that, you got NBA basketball playoffs dialed in and, NFL draft. So, yeah, it's been a great couple of weeks for sure.
Franco. Is Wander Franco legit?
Without a doubt, man, the guy is still just a kid and, he's going to be their guy for multiple years. They did a good thing by locking him up. He's battled through a little bit of injury, but I think that's just going to help him be a better pro. At the end of the day.
We got a comment here. The Mind Turtle. The Mind Turtle is a big fan of Jim Tim. All right. Who are you? That is the bald Coach K, and he's the reason people watch, including yourself, Mind Turtle. People tune in to see the bald Coach K, especially when he takes his shirt off.
Hey, yeah, thank you for tuning in, Mind Turtle. We've been having a lot go on here recently as well. We did it was a game changing podcast yesterday. It was just we just pulled it out. We just did it live. We didn't tell anybody we were going to do it, but we did. We had a famous professional wrestler. A legendary Cuban assassin. And you're talking about a guy that went on tour with Andre the Giant. He was sent there by a guy by the name of Hiro Matsuda. Hiro Matsuda is the guy that trained Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, B. Brian Blair. Hey, Hulk Hogan. He's the guy. Hiro Matsuda is the man that broke Hulk Hogan's leg because he didn't know if Hogan was legitimate and serious about pro wrestling. And then that's when Hulk Hogan did come back, and that's when he got all his respect. So you're talking about a legend in the game, and this guy, he had 3 matches in Portland wrestling. And let me tell you guys a little bit about this. Portland wrestling was so underrated. Portland wrestling is the equivalent to what NWA was, over on the East Coast, back in the 80s. And, over there, man, he was with some amazing, talented guys, Rip Oliver, Buddy Rose. And that's where him and Mr. Perfect first linked up, and they became good friends. And he's also gone as the Top Gun as well. So it was great having that podcast with him, and just to see, I don't think there's anything, Coach, how it feels when you kind of see your players, you kind of see them getting it, and that light goes on, and things just kind of change during the season. This is a game changer here, for what St. Pete Rejuvenate is doing, to get a guy of his caliber, a guy that has wrestled, Ric Flair in 3 60-minute matches, a guy that's done barbed wire matches, you name it, the Coal Miners Glove. Pull him up on YouTube, Fidel Sierra, the Cuban Assassin, just to get him into that clinic and to help him get over, the pain that the man has gone through after 40 years of pro wrestling. Just imagine being in a car crash for 40 years. Every single day you're in a car crash, because that's what the equivalent to is. But the fact that we can get a gentleman of his caliber in there, into their studio, and to make a difference and to change his life, I can't even put it into words how, my emotions are feeling, man. It's the greatest feeling in the world when you can help somebody, change their life and get better. I think that's why we're all in this. Coach, you have that motto of, making champions for life, and that's who this guy is. And you know what? We're never guaranteed anything. We're never guaranteed how much time we have. And maybe this was just a speed bump to slow down the inevitable or whatever. But, for him to be able to live without that excruciating chronic pain and, probably the depression, think about the depression that he must probably feel.
But this guy knows Abdullah the Butcher.
Dude, he was Abdullah the Butcher's manager. He was the guy that would talk for Abdullah the Butcher. Dude,
I remember that, man.
Dude,
so Abdullah the Butcher?
That's one of the best promos of all time.
Why did Abdullah the Butcher not talk? Did his voice, was it not intimidating?
Gigante de carrera, 7'5", más que 500 libras. Pero yo traigo el carnicero Abdullah the Butcher esa lucha. Tú vas a tener 5'5". Porque el carnicero te va a picar a pedazo.
Yeah, he's got the energy, man.
Coach Taylor, that's exactly what about why did Abdullah the Butcher not talk? Because he ain't bringing that kind of energy, that intensity. That is a madman right there. And the best part about it, man.
Man.
Right, that is a whole another level, and it's perfect how the whole thing worked out yesterday on I believe A&E or one of the channels. They had a documentary on the Iron Sheik.
Ooh, I love the Iron Sheik.
Really good. Oh man, and dude, there's pictures where I have a picture that I've seen where it is Bruno Sammartino, Nikolai Volkov, Iron Sheik, and Fidel Sierra. Man, you talk about a bunch of gangsters, man. I mean, that is just so legendary.
He loved Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah. But, to be able to help a man of his caliber, and it just means a lot to me, because those guys, for me growing up, those were my superheroes. That was Superman to me. That was Spider-Man to me, man. The Road Warriors, rest in peace, man. I love those guys. Bruiser Brody. There's so many of those guys that are no longer here. And just to think that we had, a little bit of influence, and that we were able to help him, lessen some of the pain and be able to enjoy a little bit better. It means everything. And, I love it, man. It's epic to me. It's a bucket list thing. And hopefully this kind of gets the ball rolling and other people realize that there are different ways. There's like Coach John Gruden used to say, there's more than one ways to skin a cat. And for him to be able to get off of these narcotics, some of these medicines, these pain medicines are just, they're so vile for you, man. They will tear you up, inside and out sometimes. And sometimes if you stop taking them, man, you'll get worse. You'll get suicidal. You know what I mean? And so,
Coach Hutch, have you joined us audio?
Yeah, audio only.
Audio only. So, Coach, Fidel Sierra has completed his 10 free complimentary sessions at St. Pete Rejuvenate of the ketamine treatment, and he feels like a new man. How does that make you feel, knowing that a legend in pro wrestling, such as the Cuban Assassin, has gone to St. Pete Rejuvenate and that's changed his life?
I've heard lots of amazing things about it. Sometimes it only takes one session, a couple of sessions, and a lot of people are talking it's really helping out pain and PTSD and all sorts of different things. So glad to hear that you got through it.
Mind Turtle, thank you for tuning in. All right. Can you please pin for me? Kenny Brooks said good morning. Kenny's a loyal Totem Pole. He's a part of Totem Pole Nation. Dude, YouTube is screening what happened. Car battery. And then Shovelware TV. Gonna have to watch that. Never seen Shovelware, but Mind Turtle, you are the best. We want to hook you up with Lolo Jones and Jim Tim. All right. So Mind Turtle, Lolo Jones, and Jim Tim will be coming on Totem Pole Nation, and we're going to have a 3-way interview. All right. Now, Coach Hutch.
Yes.
Did you tune in to any wrestling, UFC, or sports this weekend?
I did not, actually. Sports-wise, a little bit of basketball, a little bit of hockey, but nothing worthwhile that I can contribute this morning.
Yeah. I mean, I just know the Grizzlies got beat. And LeBron James, my hat's off to you. 20 years, and that kid from Oklahoma or Wichita State that was raining threes all over the place, a rookie. I think he scored 28 points. Man, what a player. What a player. So, Coach Bald, what is the plan for this week? It's Monday. You only got one shot. What's the plan for this week? Are we going to be able to get the Cyborg on before he leaves?
He's already left. Yeah, he has already left. The thing was, I didn't want to make anything uncomfortable. He hadn't been here in 3 years, so it was probably a culture shock just to be back here and to see how much love everybody had for him. I've got some amazing gear. I've got some autograph stuff. I mean, it was unbelievable. But yeah, he's already gone. And man, he stayed here, and it was just, it was amazing, man. I mean, I love the guy, man. That's my guy, I've known him when the times were tough, and I know him now where he's just knocking people out. So, yeah, man, I'm definitely, excited about his future. But, it's just like me going on vacation. He went on vacation. Man, it's time for us to get dialed back in. So it's jumping back on the rituals, jumping back on the good diet and everything, and getting all them workouts in, and, really focusing on what we got going on with the business and promos, and, just trying to get busy, man, just trying to keep busy, stay busy.
And
but
here he is,
I'll tell you,
gentlemen. Jim Tim.
Jim Tim in the house. Hey, before we get to Jim, Coach Bald, Cyborg is now currently 6-0 in professional fights. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, if he's not in something big after he's 8-0, then I say the entire system is rigged, because you look at his 6 fights. We said it before, we'll say it again. The guy's an animal. He deserves a shot in either PFL, Bellator, or UFC.
And I just want to chime in on this. When he was in high school, okay, I'm a shade under 6'4", so I'm 6'3", and he was about
Legit.
eyeball. He was about eyeball. Yeah, barefoot, 6'3" and 3/4. When when he was in high school, I may have been a shade taller than him. Man, that guy's a legit 2 or 3 inches taller than me now. And he was probably playing ball about 215 in high school. Man, he's got to be right at 265. He is a big, big man and a grown man. And you're exactly right, dude. He's a specimen. When he walks into place, all I could imagine it be like is when Mr. T walked into a place back in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like a bad dude that you like. If you're thinking about doing something stupid, well, we're going to wait till this guy leaves. That kind of a guy. But, hey, I want to say this too. Jim Tim, man, I saw you and Madness go fisticuff. Holy cow, man. You really brought it, man.
You brought the fire.
You did, man. You had, he got you fired up, man, and you lit into him. You lit into him like a firecracker, man. The madness looked like the sadness. Yeah, it was vicious, man. It was great, man. That was intense, dude. I loved it. So good stuff, man. Kudos to you, brother.
Jim Tim, did you see how Lolo Jones came out and said that Shaq must have been high or drunk when he said that Angel Reese was the best athlete to ever come out of LSU?
Yeah, I heard it. You know what? She talks. That's all she does. That's all. Angel Reese, yeah, she's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but there's been people day in and day out that's really great for LSU. So,
Coach Hutch.
Yes.
Are you still in with us? Are you still online?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Coach Hutch, what is your opinion? Since you are CSCS certified, I know Jim Tim is also, but is Angel Reese the greatest athlete ever to come out of LSU?
I don't know. Jim Tim actually brings up a very valid point. LSU has been around for quite some time. And to just narrow down one greatest athlete, I mean, you can do have UNC, that's Michael Jordan. But LSU, I mean, they got a plethora of athletes that have come out of there and contributed all sorts of stuff to the major leagues and to the Olympics as well. So, I mean, you could tune in right now over this last season in their women's gymnastics and say any of them girls could be the top athlete coming out of there. So, I mean, take your pick.
Matt Davis, he's a Michigan man, isn't he?
Hail
to the victors. Joey Ballgame, Jamar Chase, Jefferson. Those are 3 pretty dang good athletes right there. And I got the opportunity to text message Scott Peters over the weekend. Scott Peters is not happy with some of these Twitter coaches. Jim Tim, before you joined Twitter,
he did change the name. You're not wrong, Coach. They made
did
the
you
tape.
know that there was Titter coaches?
No.
You did not know that there's just guys that coach on Twitter. Okay, Coach Hutch, Coach Bald. I'll get Coach Bald on this one. Coach Bald, you're an O-line guy. You say OL guy. You're an OL guy. What's harder, training one guy or 5 guys having to run a play against a moving defense?
Well, I mean, how many times do you see, a hole open up because of one player, one offensive lineman? Never, and for people that attack Coach McNally, I mean, like it's legitimately like a kindergartner trying to attack a Navy SEAL. You know what I mean? Like that's about how close it would get. This guy has forgotten more football than most people will ever know. He's blocked more chairs than most people have ever sat in. The guy, his pillows are blocking pads. You know what I mean? He did a video the other day, and one of the guys brought up like, who has a blocking dummy, in their room? But the word on the street is that's actually what he sleeps on his pillows, man. That's how much this guy loves football, and the content that he's been bringing. I mean, it's unbelievable. We are so blessed with him. He's the best thing that has happened to Twitter, I believe,
The best thing that's happened to Twitter. Jim Tim, since you've been on Twitter, what other coaches have you been impressed with other than Coach McNally? Are there any other coaches that are? I need to do my blah, 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 get my mouth right. I can't even talk this morning. All right, maybe my Thorazine was a little bit too much, and they injected me. But look,
too much Viagra.
Hey,
Oh, there you go. Coach Taylor had a busy weekend.
5 guys. Matt Davis says 5 guys would be much harder because there's nothing better when all 5 guys on that whole line are in sync. It's a thing of beauty. Yes. Well, that's a disagreement between Coach McNally and another coach. But Coach Jim Tim, are there any coaches out there on Twitter that is bringing the content like Coach McNally?
There's not a single one out there. I mean, there's coaches that every coach that I follow or have seen usually just shouts out one of their players, shouts out what they're doing for the weekend. Coach McNally, every single day, he's giving his knowledge to the world for free. You don't see hardly any guys doing that anywhere.
Jim Tim, what do you feel about the trolls? What do you feel about any other coaches? Are there any other coaches that are helping other coaches on Twitter to get better?
I would say Dion.
So Dion, how is Dion helping? What is he just preaching? Is he being preached?
Haven't you heard what he's doing to that program? And you see there's a whole bunch of people, and he's changing the philosophy of the game, and he's getting the people who actually want to play, who actually care about the game instead of just the social media and it's a glorified entertainment. He's making it like how he had it back in his generation to now.
Yeah. And I saw someone put on Twitter, must have been a troll, that Colorado looks small. They look like a high school team.
Haven't you seen some of the players they have their practices? I don't know what it's called. We Are Something. There, I posted something on my page sometimes. It's his producer that they have practices and basically
you get into a car wreck.
No, I'm in the Starbucks.
Okay, good. All right, just making sure.
Yeah, I'm. That's why I'm completely on audio, no video. Doing something wrong, but at the same time, I'm doing it safely wrong as I can.
Yeah, it's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. We're not doing any more confessions on this show, and we're not going to be testifying against ourselves. Jim Tim.
And sorry, Coach, but that's not also an endorsement of Starbucks. Just a really, really cute barista that I like seeing every morning.
So, Jim Tim, what is Dion posting? Because I'm not following his Twitter close enough. What were you saying?
Basically, he's posting from one of his camera people is posting different things on practices and how the different coaches are coaching the different positions, and basically how he's weeding out the elite players to the meat of the team to the below scholarship players. He wants the very best on his team. It doesn't matter. If you're on the 53 man roster, whatever, he's going to find a spot for you. If you give 110%, he's going to find a spot for you.
Coach Bald, you've always been a Neon Dion primetime Sanders fan. You could even do the Dion dance back in the day. Who are you picking? Player Dion or Coach Prime?
Man, Player was just so electrifying. Like, I love what he's doing as a coach, but he was an innovator as a player. It's kind of transitioning over. You know what I mean? He's changing the way people do things, and the game has just changed, man. The portal and all that stuff, all that madness. It's different. But man, I'm picking him as a player. First ballot Hall of Famer. One of the most electrifying guys when he touched the ball, and also just to throw a name in the hat for LSU. I got a name for you. How about Jim Taylor, fullback, Green Bay Packers?
That's your guy.
Right? That's LSU. That guy. Look at what that guy did at LSU. I believe he was track, and he was football, and he may have even played another sport. But you talk about a legend, maybe one of the best ever. That guy right there, I believe he had 6 touchdowns in a game at LSU.
Wow.
Who else has scored 6 touchdowns in a game?
And he's just as good of a person.
Without a doubt, man. Rest in peace to Jim Taylor, one of the best
Jim
ever.
Tim, he actually got to wear a Super Bowl I ring. Jim Tim, who is the most famous person you've ever met?
Famous person. That's a good question. I met the former head football coach that's on the Wyoming Cowboys. Head football coach that coached North Dakota State. That's the most famous person I've met.
Amazing. Have you ever met Beetlejuice from Howard Stern?
No. Have you?
I am a huge fan of Beetlejuice. And if anyone out there can find Beetlejuice, please bring him to Totem Pole Nation.
I think his cousin is working at a local chicken shop.
Madness might know him. It might be Ken.
Coach Hutch, do you have any connections to find Beetlejuice up in New York City?
Not in New York City. I said there's a close second working at a local chicken shop around there.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Is that the
Totem Pole Nation might know who we're talking about, but I'm not throwing out any names.
If you've been a fan of Totem Pole Nation for a while, because this channel's been around for a year, then you would know Coach. All right, he's no longer here. Coach Bald, what do you think about Jim Tim being a part of Totem Pole Nation?
Dude, I love it. He brings you great content, man.
He brings it. What's the life lesson today, Jim Tim, for you? What would you like to tell the world?
Don't take anything for granted. Live today.
That's Coach Hutch's philosophy, isn't it, Coach Hutch?
Yeah, I got a little bit of a new one after this weekend. Is don't pay a DJ $1,000 if he's terrible.
Wow. Don't pay a DJ $1,000, and that is from a prom that you went to. And
yes, and there was a lot more negative reviews than positive reviews.
So, Coach, why were you not hired to be the DJ?
I wasn't asked, but I do now have the connections to introduce, and he already confirmed he would do it for next year. One of my good friends that was voted the best DJ in Richmond.
Wow,
is going to DJ the prom of our high school next year.
Coach Bald, what makes a good DJ and greatest DJ of all time?
Man, I'll tell you what. There's a mix you can get.
Clubs. You've been in a lot of female dancing clubs and clubs with men and women. But what makes a great one?
I think you just keep, whatever keeps the party going, man. Whatever keeps the party going. You got to keep it going. You got to switch it up. Got to get versatile, but you got to throw those bangers out there that's going to get people up. And
that's where I got to chime in. Is you're not supposed to have any dead time when you're a DJ, and this individual decided that he would restart songs halfway through, and that he would leave about 10 seconds of time before his next song. There's a thing called fading, fade out, and you're coming in where you actually transition, you match up the BPMs. Like the very simple stuff about being a DJ is pretty much just that. Match up your BPMs, transition to the next song. This guy had looked like he got it from Goodwill or used at Guitar Center and an iPad, and that was his whole setup.
Wow. Jim Tim, what makes a great DJ, and who's the greatest DJ of all time?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
All right, I'm going old school. I'm saying DJ Kool Herc because it all started with him, baby. Hip hop started with DJ Kool Herc.
I'll tell you, the best dance party I ever went to was a DJ called Zedd, Z-E-D-D.
Well, why
Without a
was it the
doubt.
best dance party? Is that because it was one of those with the flickering lights and the glow sticks?
Well, there was that. It was a good show. I saw Steve Aoki too. I don't know. Totem Pole Nation definitely knows who that person is. He likes to cake people at the end of his shows,
Oh my God.
where he throws a gigantic birthday cake onto people.
Oh, good
But
grief.
exactly, kind of what I was saying before, the transitions. You feel the crowd, you know what to hit next. You know when the bass drops, like what's going to happen. I've seen DJs that just sit there and hit the air horn and the gunshot and and it just is terrible. But when you know how to hit those transitions, that's all it takes. And that's another thing. That is actually my life lesson. Know how to transition. Know how to change what you're currently in, transition it to something better.
Wow.
Putting all the work in, making sure that all your ducks are in a row, whatever euphemism you want to use. If you're trying to do great things, you got to have a plan. You got to have a set playlist. You got to know that if this song doesn't work, if this idea doesn't work, you got to have a backup.
So Coach Hutch,
Yes.
before you came to coach with a guy who people told you was a bad person and disrespected kids, cussed
They
out
didn't say he was
kids.
a bad person, but yeah, they said those last two things.
But how did you transition from your previous situation to this situation, and how did that work? Has that been good?
It's been fantastic. The thing is you can't put somebody into a box without actually meeting that person and actually talking to that person. There's been coaches that I've worked with or that I've been around that have been, the best thing since sliced bread, and they've been terrible. I mean, I've been with an offensive guru coach who struggled to put 7 points on the board. I've been with a defensive guru coach who has struggled to have not put 45 points on the board.
Wow. Tim, how does that make you feel?
Good.
Hearing what Coach is saying.
I understand that.
Coach Bald, what's your take? What's your life lesson from this? One shot.
Man, you only get one shot. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, we lost a great human being yesterday, Daryl Lennox. He's an amazing comedian, and met him, and yeah, we lost him yesterday. So it's been an emotional roller coaster, man. But I know that he's in a better place now, and he would want us to live our best life, to do our best, and to keep going out and attacking every single day, and just to be kind to people, make people laugh, man. He was a comedian, so that was his job. So yeah, man, you only got one shot in this lifetime. Okay, so that's all you got. You got one shot. So make an impact. Go be nice to people. It's important. Okay, you never know when you change somebody's life. Just like we did with, I think, the Cuban madman, Fidel Sierra. He is doing the ketamine treatments. We have changed his life. And that means everything because, like I said, huge pro wrestling fan. And to be able to change somebody's life, man, that's what it's all about. I also want to give a big shout out to my man, Kenny Thomason. I recently just got a vehicle. Dude, he drove it down from Illinois all the way to my place. We put him in a plane. But what an amazing guy to get the car. He's a mechanic, best mechanic in the world. Anybody in Totem Pole Nation, if you guys need a vehicle, this is the guy to go to. I can get you his contact information. And he is in the Brotherhood of the Illinois Illini. Man, they have a Marco Polo chat. It is unbelievable. They got over 180 guys. He's the only one that did not go to University of Illinois because they love that man, and that's what he is. He makes an impact, and he's only got one shot, and he knows it.
Amen. So, Coach Tim, do you have anything else you'd like to say before we sign off today?
No, I do not.
You're done. What about the madness? Is the beef over with the madness? You squashed the beef with Angry Redskin fan.
The madness, I'm going to leave a message just for the madness. Don't ever challenge the one until you're ready to take the chance.
That's wisdom. Coach Hutch, what would you like to say? You want to shout? You want to shout out Cultivate Wellness?
Check. I was definitely about to. Yeah, check out Cultivate Wellness. We're able to keep that full spectrum CBD still in stock. So check them out, cultivatewellness.com for all of your CBD needs. And Coach Bald Coach K, tell them about your experience at St. Pete Rejuvenate.
Yeah, man, without a doubt, St. Pete Rejuvenate. Check out the website, stpeterejuvenate.com. We're doing a lottery, a raffle this month right now for Ozempic shots for 1 full month.
Wow.
1 full month, over $400 package. Okay, this stuff, you come in once a week, we hook you up, and then the next thing you know, the LBs start dropping.
That's what
You start getting more energy. You start looking better, and hey, it's beach season. Why not? Let's go.
Beach season. Totem Pole Nation, we love you. Coach Bald, you wanna send us out?
All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love you, Totem Pole Nation. To the next episode.